First and foremost, I'd like to say all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings be unto all of the sincere Akim throughout the four corners of the world that push this truth, sincerity, and sincerity. Here it is, it's 2016, man. It's a year to push. Hey, your brothers have been for a long time standing on these street corners, pushing the word of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And here it is. The things that we've been speaking about, the things that was written down in the scriptures through the Spirit of Yahweh, given it to us through His Son, the Holy Spirit, are being made manifest. You got World War III that's imminent. Matter of fact, they're in World War III right now. You got Esau in America, who's planning to come upon you tribes, as it's written in Jeremiah 30:7. You got the mark of the beast that's coming into fruition right before our eyes. So these prophecies, they live, man. You know. So through the Spirit, we're gonna get into some of those prophecies today. Hey, can you grab what's that? Jeremiah 50. Yeah. Start at 6.
This is Jeremiah.
Just read down.
Chapter 50, verse 6, and it reads, My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place.
Yeah, they have forgotten their resting place because the majority of Israelites, who happen to be the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they've forgotten their resting place, which their resting place is Yahweh. But on a physical sense, it's the land of Israel, you know. So, the Israelites, when you were looking in history, like reading the scriptures, Israel, when they were going to captivity, what they would do is they would turn their mind back to the Lord, and they would want to go home, man. They wouldn't want to dwell in the land that they were captives in for a long time. I mean, you got some Israelites that remained in the land of their captivity, but the majority of them, they wanted to go home, man.
Well, verse 7, all that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, We offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord.
All that found them. All of these nations, they're confederate against the house of Israel, man. Every single one of them. None of you nations are guiltless in the eyes of the Most High Yahweh, man. Starting with the ones that are on top, because the scriptures say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who are ruling over this world right now? The so-called white man. Can you grab Psalms 83? You got it?
No, I don't.
Can you grab Psalms 83? Hold what you got, but get Psalms 83. Because all of these nations are confederate against us. None of these nations like us, man. All of them are envious of us. Because we're the best, man. Like DJ Khaled said, we the best.
We gotta start acting like it. Come back to the Lord.
God, you gotta be in that ruling class mentality. You gotta stop acting like niggas. You gotta stop being Americans, man. You gotta stop being African Americans. And you gotta learn to be Israelites, man. Yep.
Psalms 83, verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemy make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
And because when these nations brought us down, man, they rejoiced, man. When these nations, all of these nations brought us down, and this is the first, well, what do you say? I wouldn't say the first United Nations, but you can, that's on the line of one of the, you know, what they doing right now in the UN. All of the nations are in the UN and they're confederate. And I don't see no niggas up in the UN, man. I don't see no Native American Indians. I don't see no Hispanics up there. I see every other nation but the tribes of Israel, man. Go ahead.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Revelations 11.
They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more of remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and of Ishmaelite, of Moab, and the Hagarenes.
I'll go back up to where it says that they were confederate. You know, because hey, you got the nations, they don't respect us, and they think that we're a joke. We come out here on the highways and hedges, and we come out here to prophesy the destruction of this place, man. But you think that we're a joke, and you laughing at us. But you ain't gonna be laughing in that day when all of the things that we say come into fruition.
I didn't leave it out there for nobody to tell. Psalms 83.
Because hey, man, these nations are proud, man. They're too fucking proud. Because vengeance have not been executed speedily, man. They're proud, man. Go ahead.
Psalms 83, verse 5.
Hold that and grab that in Revelations.
This is Revelations 11 and 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them.
Go on one verse and read that. Okay.
Revelations 11 and 9. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half.
And that's talking about our slavery. You know, because beginning with the so-called white man, but like I said, all of these other nations had a part in that. And we were dead for 350 years in America, starting from 1619 all the way up until 1969, when you had Elijah the prophet, who came in a bodily form of Abba Bivens. He came back to turn the children back to their fathers, and the fathers back to their children, which is talking about the nation of Israel returning back to their heritage. And like the Lord said in the scriptures unto Jeremiah, he said, even thou shalt discontinue from thy heritage. But when Abba came back, he returned us back unto the Lord, man. Go ahead.
And shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
Go ahead. Yep.
And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry.
And they that dwell upon the earth, that's talking about all the other nations. But predominantly Esau, the so-called white man, because he dwells in the fatness of the earth. He's in all land and all people, man. He conquered and subdued this world by the sword. Go ahead.
And shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth.
So because the nation of Israel, the northern and southern kingdom was tormenting them. You know, they were rejoicing. They were happy to bring us down, man. These nations rejoice over us. And you think the so-called white man is your friend, you think the so-called Moabite is your friend, the Africans, but they laugh in your face and crack jokes upon you. Hey, the Africans call you a kata. The so-called white man got all kind of different bywords and proverbs for you, man. They smile in your face, but really, hey, there's 7 abominations in his heart.
And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them.
So now all of these other nations are in fear, because here it is, you got the prophets of the Lord that are back on the street corners prophesying, man, as they did in the old time. And when the prophets prophesied, what came afterwards? Destruction. Go ahead.
Which saw them, and they heard a great voice from heaven, saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up.
That's it. Go back to 83.
Psalms 83, verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. So
what it was talking about in Revelations, the 10th chapter, that's talking about what David was prophesying about. All of the nations are confederate against the children of Israel, man. None of them like you, man. None of them like you. And you should be a goddamn shame of yourself trying to befriend these other nations. And when the Lord told us in his holy law, he told us not to make covenants with them. Hey, fuck these other nations, because they ain't gonna teach you nothing but evil. Going all the way back to the time of Genesis. And when the Lord gave the commandment unto Adam, And he told Adam not to do the same thing, man. Can't nothing good come from these goddamn heathens, man. Go ahead.
They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom,
The so-called white man,
and the Ishmaelites,
the so-called Arabs, the ones that say that they're your friends, call you Habibi, but selling you fucking pork sandwiches, man. Go ahead.
of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal,
And Moab is the Chinese. Go ahead.
Gabal, and Ammon,
Ammon is the Japanese.
and Amalekite.
The Amalekite is a so-called Jew, and the ones that call themselves Jews, the Jewish, because they wish they was a Jew, man. They call themselves Jews pertaining to Jew-like, and the whole reason that the whole reason that they came into Judaism and wanted to be Jews, that goes back during the time of the Maccabees with John Hyrcanus, which caused them to convert over. He said, hey, if you want to live in the lands of your forefathers, you got to circumcise your genitals, and you got to keep the laws. A lot of them didn't want to do that, so guess what? And they fled away. But some of them stayed. So from those Edomites, which the Amalekites are a branch off the Edomites, from them stemmed the Herodians. The Herodians. And then later on down the line, you got the Khazars that converted over into the Jews' religion, man, and started to try to keep our customs. Hey, but the Lord knows who you are, man, and you can't hide from the Lord. Saying that you're a Jew from your mother's bloodline, and the Bible speaks about them. He call them tares. But that's it. Let me go back to that.
This is Jeremiah. Chapter 50, verse 7. It says, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers, removed out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans.
Yeah, because the Lord, hey, first of all, we got to come out of this place mentally, like it says in what it says in can you grab Revelations 18:4? Because the Lord we have to remove ourselves from this place mentally first. But then, hey, once we remove ourselves away from here mentally, Lord willing, we get removed away from here spiritually and physically.
This is Jeremiah 51:7. It says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Now, that word mad in the scripture is halal, which means like to boast, to be prideful. Basically, they're boasting against the children of Israel. That's what all the nations are doing. They came against us, like in Psalms 83, and then basically they got their minds together to get Israel out. And as you see them nowadays, you will see how prideful they are. Like the brother said, they call you Habibi, but selling you abominable meats and talking about your women. I mean, fucking the women that we have
and dogging them out,
and looking down on jakes that come in their store. You know. So,
yep. And it begins with the so-called white man, with the propaganda and the stuff that he puts out on the media. I mean, he caused these people to look down on us like that, the way that they do. Because there was a point in time when these nations feared us, man. There's a time when these nations revered us. Like going back during the time of Cyrus. Me and the Ak was talking about it yesterday. Going back during the time of Cyrus, and because the nations knew that our power was great. Hey, can you grab Judith 5 and 10?
You just still want me to put it out?
No, that's it. I'm done with that. Grab Judith 5 and 10.
It's in the pocket.
In the pocket. Yeah.